wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Aaron's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Aaron because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
So we need to have a conversation. I know there's always new people being introduced into the world, younger people, adults, they mature. The real world, hey, they didn't tell me anything about this. Why isn't things working? So, but for all you new people, and this is a good recap for the veterans, we need to talk about there being no sin in being smart. There should be no guilt or shame in being smart. And if anything, smart people have the right to have vengeance upon the normies, conformies, and inferiors. But I'll get to that later. But I was tagged in a tweet. Somebody said something along the lines of, I read Aaron's book, Curse of the High IQ, and realized that I wasn't dumb. I was just bored out of my fucking skull by the low IQ teachers and the morons surrounding me. But that he didn't say that. I'm adding that. That's why he was bored. It wasn't until I tried did I realize, oh yeah, I was freakishly high in intelligence. I was just, an eagle surrounded by turkeys. He put it way more politely than that. And then a guy said in response to that, yeah, not to sound too offensive, but sometimes being smart, you don't realize people don't get us. And I want to interject here and say it's long past the time that we have to provide this. I don't want to offend anyone. No, fuck you. Are you normal intelligence? You low IQ? Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm smart and I'm fucking proud. Eat a bag of dicks. I'd be okay and say, I would provide that caveat, that politeness. Hey, not to brag, but some of us actually are smarter than others and we might have problems. I'd be okay if in the past, the normies, conformies, and inferiors weren't such arrogant fucking pricks about being conformists. I'm a really good conformer and you're a bad. Oh, look at this nerd over here. I'd be okay if you didn't treat people like smart people like absolute shit in the past, but you don't. So fuck all of you. And for all of you who are intelligent, it's about high time you get a little bit. I'm not like pride. Like if you're born intelligent and you work, I mean, there's a debate how much is born and how much you can work at. But if you're intelligent, generally, although not always, different discussion. A lot of that has to do with how you were born, if your parents were smart or not. All right. And you may want to, on an intellectual level, an intellectually honest level, say, "Hey, yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging here, but we are smart." But aside from that intellectual honesty and trying to make a mature conversation, dude, it's fucking long past that time for you to be like, well, yeah, no, fuck all of you, not the smart people. They're not smart people. Sick of this shit. Now, I'm not saying you come in there swinging your big old dick with a fucking IQ test in your hand. But if it ever comes to a conversation about intelligence or your experiences being a smart person in a world of normies, and I don't want to offend the normies who just bow down and suck the dick and wore a sports ball jersey and watch the what is it? Not the enlistment. What do they call it? What do you guys call it? Like you true fucking losers. You 92 IQ types, the draft. Oh, wait. Oh, man. Is it the madness? Oh, shit. It's the madness. The March Madness. Ooh, look out. Are we going to watch the madness of the Marchness? Fuck you, people. Fuck you. And I'm not talking the nice people who are kindness of hell. I'm talking everybody whose value system was being popular and doing the thing you were told to say with the added addition that you thought you were better than everyone else because you were the best at conforming. And you picked on everyone and you mocked and ridiculed everyone. You even got in the way of these people's success because they weren't obeying. Your child must have a mental disorder because you didn't do the thing. I know his scores are off the charts and I'm a freaking moronic teacher. I know this kid's just fucking dying in the 13 years of fucking prison us normie conforming teachers and parents sent these poor, tortured children to. There's something wrong with him. And so, having gone through all that, as your average intelligent person in the West, let's go through what's happening, what is likely happening in your past, to explain to you smart people why you should never fucking apologize for being intelligent. Again, don't be a dick about it. Never apologize. All right. So understand how society works. Okay. We are a group of people, and groups have to act as a team, right? So society requires this economies to scale where we all function and kind of conform to a certain point. And when it comes to survival and success, that means an emphasis has to be put on conformance over performance, right? Conformance over being right. Okay. So whether you like it or not, the world, we all have to go along, we have to get along. And so what ends up happening is that popularity becomes the value system. Now, there is some value in teamwork. There is some value in, okay, we got to think of everybody here, economies to scale. And whereas popularity, like we should do what would be commonly accepted, right? According to common wisdom or common sense, it goes a little bit too far when you drop kids into this thing called school, where kids are not forced to survive in the real world. They don't have to work. They don't have to answer to the real world. You just have them babysat by America's babysitters, teachers. And they're not exactly the smartest ones either, let alone the most rigorous or disciplinarian types. And so what happens, you get this little system that forms in K through 12 called popularity. And that's your God. That's your fucking religion. And it never leaves. I told you middle school never ends. All that happens is you add zeros to the price of the fancy things you want to buy or you borrow money from the bank to buy. Middle school, it was whatever. The shirts, the hairstyle, the shoes, right? Because what else are you going to compete on? Even when you have dress codes, right? There's uniforms. It's like, who's got the fancier apple? Because they're kids and you're sending them in, you're not disciplining. There's no philosophy like, hey, you're not better than that person. You just have richer parents. No. Popularity beyond the benefit of economies to scale ingrains itself. It gets embedded. It's an operating system, replacing religion or God, ethics or morality. It's whatever the fuck is popular. And that value system is installed in you in K through 12. It's installed by about the third or fourth grade. And they just turn it up every year you get down the road. Then you get out of school and then it's like, okay, but now instead of buying the coolest backpack, now you get the fanciest car. Instead of the best shoes, now you get the house in the sub. It's all just a dick comparing company, and no one grows the fuck up. All right. And whereas economies of scale, we all got to work together. That popularity system is ingrained in people permanently, and they rarely grow the fuck out of it. That's why you have 45-year-olds still buying fancy shit that they don't need to impress their fucking neighbors, right? This goes beyond conforming on a team, playing together, teamwork. It becomes their freaking religion. And they actually make value judgments as to whether or not you're a good person, whether or not you are popular, whether you're a good normie conformie. And so what happens when you decide not to be popular? Maybe just like, this is stupid. I'm not paying. I mean, even in my day, what was it? $200 for a pair of sneakers? I'm not going to buy that. Well, if you don't conform, it couldn't be that you possibly have thought things through and we're doing something wrong. It can't be the individual right and the group is wrong. Nope, we got to shame you. You better conform. There's not an irrational survivalist genetic reason for that. The tribe had to work together. We got to work together as a team to bring down the mammoth. But there ain't no mammoth in school. There ain't no mammoth on the internet. There ain't no mammoth in college. It's just popular. Say, oh, socialism. Wait, socialism? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So come on in. Why was with all the crime? And if you don't go along, you get in fights on the playground because you weren't wearing the right shoes. Talk to me about it. You get called guy with a funny mustache who wants to murder a bunch of people if you don't agree with good old Minnesota good 20-something kids politics. You what? Whatever tortured, sick, twisted, fucked up shit little kids come up with, and not even many little kids, like middle schoolers, high schoolers, college. It doesn't even to this day. Go read my latest book, Zero World Problems. Castle Rock. It's a big old fucking popularity contest with 40 somethings and 50 somethings using banks' money. And I remember a couple times you're like, is that your car? Yeah, it works. Oh, can you park it down there? Fuck you. What is it? Are we in a high school parking lot? So many of you probably got this, even if you weren't like a nerd or super intelligent or whatever. Maybe if you were a punk, or you're like, fuck the system. Like actually, like, no, screw you. They're the rarer ones. But yeah, man, society really wants to shame you if you don't conform. So if you don't conform, then you have to understand there's like a Dunning-Kruger effect, right? Tell a fish that it's in water. Fish doesn't know it's in water because it's never been in anything but. And so if people aren't sit there to be critical thinkers and like, well, wait, is this right? Who cares if it's popular? And popularity is their operating system. Then it becomes the moral system as well. So normies think the irony, tell me if teachers have done this. The normies think you're dumb. You're actually stupid because you're not conforming. No, you couldn't just be a super intelligent person bored out of your fucking mind learning whatever pre-algebra again because the stupid kid whose dad wasn't around is holding everyone back. No, it could be you're the one saying, hey, spending $200 on sneakers and Lord knows 1988, 1989 money. That's kind of dumb. No, we're going to beat the shit out. Look at this stupid loser over here. I'll give you one. You want? This is in the book, Curse of the High IQ. I was a senior in high school. And there was this douche canoe. I think he was a junior. And he was sitting behind me. And the state rep or the council, the congressman came in, said, how many people are in Congress? And I looking around, and I just knew. Yes, the majority of you I went to school with were fucking stupid and normie conforming. You just were. And I realized we are never getting out of this if we don't answer this guy's questions. So I raised my hand. I'm saying 535. He's like, no, 435. I'm like, what about the Senate? There's 100 in the Senate. I'm like, yeah, that's what I said. I didn't argue with him. I'm just like, what do you mean 535? House of Reps in the Senate. So this guy had a tattoo around his eye because, his dad was around. He leans over and says, how many beers are in a case? And I had no idea. I don't know. 6. He's like, 16 shows you how much you know. And I'm like, this fucking degenerate piece of trash that's going to go nowhere. Who, Lord knows. Now, maybe he turned it around and became a surgeon and they made a movie about him. I'm just going to assume he's Wisconsin trailer trash to this day. He actually thought that I was stupid because I knew how many people were in Congress. And I didn't know his great wisdom of knowing that, even to this, is it 24 or 16? I never bothered looking it up. I'm the idiot, according to this guy, because I didn't conform, because I didn't know how many beers were in a case. Hey, maybe I work in another man's jersey and watch the madness of the march and watch the draft. Huh? How about I spend my Wednesday night like that? And they actually confuse, these normal people actually confuse obedience and conformance with intelligence, even morality. And so if you don't conform, you don't obey, they punish you. How it choose the ways. Yes, getting in fights. Yes, mocking and ridiculing. Yes, oh, you have a mental disorder, you need Ritalin. That's the more modern one. Oh, you have a mental disorder and you need help. You're aberrant. You're wrong. And books could be written of the different ways little adult minds come up with a way to punish the aberrant or the different. And you can see that going on. I'm focusing on school because that's where it's instilled. You see it pretty clearly there. But it continues on in the adult world. You're not a Democrat? I mean, well, look at dating. Did you vote Trump? Yes. So what if I did? Well, fuck you. Okay. Bachelor's required, master's preferred. Josh Fluke is great at pointing out what levels of obedience people will do. Like they'll have like corporate activities. And what is it like? Pay the boss to sit on the, like if you raise enough money for charity, the boss will sit on the roof, or the principal will do something fucking degrading. They have people line up and they dress up in boxes. It's just some embarrassing ass shit. One guy tattooed the company's name on his arm. Like, you fucking idiots. Look, it's one thing if you're actually stupid. It's another thing if you're a conformist. That's even worse. You got to come to the Big Four and work 80 hours to 100 hours a week. Or you want to work at the Bulls practice, you got to come downtown where all the action is. You need a car, you need a fancy. Oh my God. Dude, I actually had people pick on me like, what kind of car is that? It's one that works and is paid for. It's the one that makes me actually save up money. And it goes on and on and on. And it's not until and Lord Almighty, some people will live that life dying in debt because they're going to be popular because of the bullshit value system of conformance and popularity was instilled in them back when they're fucking kids. But while it is very hard going at first, hell, you're the smart kid and you actually believe this shit. You got nothing else to go on. You think you're dumb. You think you got a mental disorder. You think you're doing something wrong. You think you're a morally bad person. No, you're just too damn smart to go along with the popularity bullshit. Bullshit. One sign of being intelligent, you spot the lie. You're like, why are we doing this? This doesn't make sense. I mean, tell me if any of you have grown up in the Christian church. Well, I don't get the Trinity. Why? You're going to burn in hell. I'm a bad person. I mean, you're a sinner. Stop asking questions. No, I really don't understand this. So he's nailed to the plank of wood. Was there an agreement? How does that work? You're going to burn in hell and it all. I'm 8. And you think there's something wrong with you. You think you're a bad person. You think you're just, nope. You weren't dumb enough to conform. You weren't dumb enough to obey. You weren't stupid enough to drop 80 grand on a sports car you couldn't afford in your 20s. Oh no, you weren't popular. Oh no, the girls might not go out with you. Oh no. And that's hard. Really hard. And oh God, you don't got the system working for you. If you're God, do you want to go read my first book, Behind the Housing Crash? That's me saying there's a housing bubble. Why are you guys lending on a guy with a 420 credit score? You don't understand. Oh, you banker scum. You're the most conformist little bitches ever. And I know most of you are unemployed and you don't have enough. I've tracked all my bosses where they've gone. It's quite entertaining. And it is real hard going. It's real hard going at first. But inevitably, the support structure goes away, or inevitably, society keeps making the wrong mistake so much and so frequently that things break and collapse. It's not, I'll give you a perfect example, the housing bubble, right? Lending money to people who can never pay it back. The dot-com bubble, investing trillions in companies that were never going to make a profit. The education bubble, all you conformist little sheep follow heart, money follow. I can major in children and flowers and puppies. And if anyone tells me anything different, they believe in National Socialism. And they're the evil ones. And you can definitely see it on nothing as specific as a .com crash or a housing bubble or an education bubble, though it all kind of adds up. But there's no, and I'm sorry, you were lied to. I do apologize to the millennial generations, but man, were you guys conformists? Did you just obey the popular thing? You voted for fucking Obama. You voted Democrat free shit. You love the free stimmy checks. You followed heart, money will follow. You actually believed your teachers and parents said, you're the most educated people I know. Blah, 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 blah. Just socialism and Democrats. But reality ends up winning no matter what. We could print off a lot of money. We're the world's reserve currency. We could take a lot of debt. I mean, man, that's really postponed the rude awakening in the reality. But inevitably, reality wins. It wins. And for you smart people that were smart all along, said, this is fucked up. This doesn't make no sense. You people are worshiping this fat black woman because she plays the flute and she's not really that great of a singer and she's kind of disgusting. You people are listening to the lady who sings the song about her ex-boyfriend she'll never get back because she's a popular person that was put on the thing. Oh, my favorite. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell. Those guys, because they were raging against the machine, man. I even remember back when I was younger in college, like, yeah, I listened to the Doors. I listened, like, they're listening to Janis Joplin and they hit, there's like a little resurgence of the hippie shit. We could go protest. Shut the fuck up. That all comes to an end when reality don't give a shit no more. That all comes to an end when the artificial life supports to your bullshit life starts to end, like college ends. Like, okay, you got your master's, your PhD, and you got all those loans. All right, now it's time to, it's due. Where you went and found yourself for 5 to 10 to 15 years, never went back and got a real degree or a real job. Now the student loan debts are due. Oh, you borrowed money to pay for the car and the house, living paycheck to paycheck. What was it? Like, isn't it half of people who make $100,000 or more live paycheck to paycheck? You bought all this shit. You bought all, oh, your little empire falls apart. This facade, this front of perfect life you put on social media comes crashing down. Man, was it beautiful seeing all the fake rich people just get destroyed in the housing crisis. The bankers, the real estate developers, the mortgage brokers, the fake entrepreneurs, all you fake fucking posers doing the popular thing. You couldn't escape math. You couldn't escape economics. And all the girl boss, oh my God, that's the next bubble. That's more millennial. That's more Gen Z millennial. That'll happen later. But, oh yeah, we had our feminist types. Oh yeah, I think they're all divorced and now they are with, I mean, no joke, like legitimately turned into spinsters with cats. How's that loveless life you got going there? Oh yeah, you don't need no. Yeah, okay, we got it. And then the vindication comes. That, yeah, you were right. Your eyes weren't deceiving you. And not only that, you weren't a bad person. You weren't arrogant. You were right. And they were the assholes. Now, admittedly, you could say, well, they didn't know any better because they were sheep. They were lemmings. Right. Still doesn't excuse what they did. Punishing people because they think differently. Shaming people and ostracizing people because they were smarter than you. Firing people because they said, hey, the numbers ain't adding up here. This is going to be pretty bad. All because you're fucking popular. You're not even popular. You try to be popular. All because you obey and conform and you don't think. And you attack those who do or that do think and don't obey and don't conform. And the amount of fucking shit smart people got from you normie conformies and inferiors for the first half of their lives, you guys, you smart guys, you don't owe society an apology. You don't have to caveat things like, look, I'm not saying blah, blah, blah. You should walk, yeah, I'm smarter than fuck. Now, maybe you should go get tested. Make sure you're smarter than fuck. And don't be an arrogant dick about it either. But if the opportunity ever comes up, someone like, what? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm smarter than fuck. No, you're all wrong. No, fat women were never attractive, and no, socialism doesn't work. And no, Lizzo is not a talented singer. And no, that's a dude. That's a dude. It's a dude over there. Actually say, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. And there's comeuppance injustice. People who live lies die miserably. They have horrible lives. They're confused. I mean, everything's great while you're in the schools, right? When you're in the artificial environment, everything's great when you're borrowing the money. But when it comes time to pay it back, when you find out that your master's degree, whatever it is, isn't going to get you a job, when you find out you got to work until you're dead, all because you did what was popular. It was the nerdy square kid who, whatever, was homeschooled, stayed in, didn't go out and party, saved the money. I'm not saying they were antisocial, but they, probably smarter than the average bear. I'm going to pay off my house early. I'm going to live in a basement, drive a sensible car. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Those guys are the ones that are playing by the real rules of life. And by the time the financing starts, especially when you start getting divorced, you start having kids and the rubber hits the road. Yeah. Conformance doesn't work too well. Popularity doesn't work too well. And like I said, it'd be fine if you're like, look at that quirky, weird person tinkering with things. He says he's going to create something called a cell phone. I don't know. Well, God bless him. Instead of that, I was like, oh my God. Actual fights? Because someone wasn't wearing the right shirt? Mocking and ridiculing someone because their car isn't as nice as yours? Really? Firing people because they said, hey, student loans aren't going to be paid back. You're calling people National Socialists because you disagree with their responsible, fiscally conservative approach to politics and government finances? Yeah. Well, like I said, the time will come and you're just like it's like two halves to a game. There's the first half and the second half. Second half of the game is smart people's time. It's like Tom Brady winning when he played against the Seahawks. It's their time now. I just wish, for modern day smart people, please realize all the fucking bullshit the conformists forced you to go through. Okay? You're wrong. There's something wrong with you. You need to be punished. You're mentally ill. Whatever it is. You're a bad person. All right? So when the time comes and they say, oh, there's some kind of discussion about intelligence and they ask you about it, yeah, I'm smarter than fuck. Do not be apologetic. Do not be ashamed. And don't caveat it. It's perfectly fine. No, the reason why is because you're dumb and I'm smart. Just like a statement of fact, And then for you younger people, I mean, will you parents please just get these kids out of the public schools and the private schools? Can you teach them independent thought? So for you younger, and I don't mean like little 8-year-old kids who shouldn't be watching this channel anyway, but I mean teens and 20-somethings. All right. Please don't be lost. Please don't be confused. That's all America is popularity. And then the people who are like independent minded and like, but my dad, that doesn't make sense. Nothing's adding up. You're not wrong. You're not confused. Everybody else is just trying to be popular, and rarely is popular right. I don't mean morally right. I mean, it's not correct. It's not factual. And I don't know, maybe the younger generation's like, well, we can disagree. And yeah, he's kind of weird and different, or she's kind of odd and obtuse. But that doesn't mean they're bad people. Maybe they're a little bit more mature in the younger generations, but I'm going to assume not. I'm going to assume you still have to conform. You still have to do whatever it is the popular thing. You have to donate to the United Way at work. Otherwise, you get tisk points. When you're a younger adult, please ignore these people. Right? And you're going to have, just stick with it. Don't let it bother you. You're not wrong. Do not be confused. You are not the one who is wrong. And it's not going to make things easier. I mean, it will, because you won't be like, what am I going to do? And trying every possible thing to make, what is now? Do I get acceptance? Is this right now? No, I have the wrong hairstyle. Okay, let me try it again. Realize it's not you. Realize society for the most part is wrong. Make your decisions based on that fact. Use empiricism. Be intellectually honest. Know the facts. Don't have opinions. And then it's like Neo looking at the Matrix, like, oh, I finally get it now. Everyone is an obedient fucking conformist. And they do popular thing, which is wrong thing. I'm going to hedge against inflation. I'm going to get a degree that uses math. I will not follow my heart and the money will follow. I will do something hard and difficult so the money is guaranteed. And no one, by the way, there's no like celebration, like, like, oh, you were right. Oh, you're such a smart person. Oh, wow, what idiots. I'm still waiting for any banker to say, yeah, you were right. We were wrong. Sorry, taxpayer. You didn't see that happen. Did that happen? I'm waiting to see a banker says, yeah, we fucked up. Still waiting to see that. But you don't have to be confused or tortured when you're younger. You just have to know you can't go arrogant to the other side. Like, I'm smart because everyone disagrees with me. No, you could be a dick too. This is where it helps to get tests. Man, by the way, English scores don't mean shit. Like, unless English is your second language, then yeah, you got to learn the language. But like, if you were born and raised in, speaking English, yeah, English stops meaning anything like after the 3rd grade because you're already fluent in it. The only thing that really matters is math and science scores. And you're like, oh, dang, go take an IQ test. Say, oh, here I am. I'm on this thing. If you want a quick and dirty one, there's a IQ test called Queendom. You can take that test for free. You'll probably want to subtract about 7 points from it. It scores on a little high side, but I don't know if they have the analytics for it. If they use the Queendom testing data set, then you could get, if they provide percentiles, then that's accurate because it's using the Queendom data. But if you want the WAISC test, I forgot what it was called. Yeah, subtract 7 points off of it. Also, you're coming in at 130, 135. Yeah. Yeah. Chances are you're smarter than the average bear. Chances are everyone around you're like, I don't get it. What are they doing? Why are they cheering on this person going from one side of the court to the other with the orange sphere? Oh, he dunked it into the red hoop with the white nets with force. Actually, it's kind of cool. I mean, you could appreciate athleticism, but but the other guy did the exact same thing, but he had a blue jersey on, not the orange one. That's bad. If you're confused about that, yeah, chances are you're smart. And I don't know. I'm not expecting the normies and conformies. This is hardwired. It's hardwired. You just don't get it. You just like, what popular thing? NBA? Go buy house now. Oh, 2.1 kids. Vote Democrat? Okay. I don't expect you guys like, hey, yeah, you're right. We don't think things through. I just don't. It's too ingrained. There's that necessary, we got to work together, economies of scale, tight-knit society type of thing. So I don't think it will ever change. But for you smart people, like, yeah, just don't apologize to these people. Don't apologize to them. Never apologize for being smart. Don't feel ashamed for being smart. Don't be confused for being smart. First, you got to figure out if you're smart. I'm no joke, like 8th grade, go take an IQ test. Or if they still have these standardized tests, look at your math and your science scores. If you're in the top 1%, that ought to tell you something. I was in the top 1%. I never thought English. Oh yeah. Even though I was fully fluent in it, wrote it just fine. Apparently I was a DC student in that. Math, always off the chart. That's your real IQ. And no, EQ is not a real thing. It's made up bullshit for dumb people to feel better about something. It's not the popular thing, he said. Oh, no, never apologize. Never. And enjoy the misery. What was it, Winston? And may you enjoy the accommodations of the Continental, sir. May you enjoy the miserable failings of the normies, conformies, inferiors who agreed with the system. What? Pay taxes and vote to take my money away in more or higher taxes and commute? But MBA, then I get promoted now? Agree with you all the time, then Peen get touched? Okay, sweetheart. Watch them suffer. I don't have any money for retirement. I bought fun things and stuff. They said if I follow my heart, the money would follow, but there's no money. I'm on a fixed income. Yeah, go be normal. Like, just enjoy their suffering. Enjoy their just when they go spend, what is it, $700 a month now on the average car payment? And they make fun of you driving your sensible car you paid cash for. You enjoy, you got to wait till you're in your 40s, man. Start early 40s, it starts to happen. The wheat gets separated from the chaff, especially when you're younger. There's no reason to apologize, none whatsoever. Link below is my book, Curse of the High IQ. I wrote it a while ago. It goes into much greater detail than this. I just saw that was motivated. Like, yeah, we got to remind all you young people out there, you never apologize for being smart. Never. And for those of you who are older, never caveat, never feel ashamed. And if an opportunity comes up and you're like, well, the reason, and you can see the answer to the question, it's adult time, you're looking around and like you're bossing around and you're not at work, and you could say it, would say, well, that's because you're stupid and you're doing this stupid thing. I'm smart because this, that, and this, and you all didn't see that. Watch them fume. Fuck them. Let them fume. Oh no, what are you gonna do? Especially when you're adults. Like, what are you gonna do? Fight me because I don't got the right shirt? Curse of the High IQ. It's linked below. You can find that on Amazon. Let's go to the super chats. A jar of non-alcoholic gin. That sounds horrible. 10 generous dollars. In and out of your channel, looking at your accounting thing and the other dude's lineman thing. Can I get the too long didn't read on why architecture is bad? Doesn't pay. Also, you have to get a lot of schooling. Now, things may have changed. Best friend is an architect. You got to get like a PhD or like a doctorate level. And there's a lot of tests you got to get. And then also it's by state, California having the highest requirements. My friend, genius, could just never land a reliable architecture job. Just couldn't do it. I wouldn't bother with it. And in defense of architecture majors, it's not like, oh, let's make pretty pictures. You got to have a lot of math and physics and all that in there too. I just go become an engineer or something instead. We'll check back later. Thanks. Yeah, no, it's tragic, but it's flooded. Everybody wants to be an architect. Spike Spiegel. Oh my God. The Spike Spiegel is tuning in. How cool is that? I knew he survived the fight with Spike. 20 generous dollars. 22 years old, working in HVAC. Thanks for all the advice. Good for you, man. You're smarter than the average college student. Jeremy Lewis, $5. Hoyle. In the 7th grade, a teacher chastised me for being too proud about getting better grades and qualifying for a more advanced class. Yeah, fuck teachers. Dude, teachers, go look at IQ by major or major by IQ. Teachers are at the bottom, especially early childhood education teachers. Your teachers are not there to, dude, school is the worst place for smart people. You really, if you start finding out your high IQ or your high performer, you got to get out of the schools. And I mean private schools too. You need to homeschool or self-educate. There's no reason for you to be sitting there with the rest of the normie conformies until you're 18 to then go get permission to go to a college where then at 22, you might be permitted to get a real job. Like the young man we just had before, 22 years old, working in HVAC. There's no reason smart people shouldn't be graduating from high school like 13 or 14. If you do decide to go to college, getting done by 16, 17, 18, and then you're out there working. But yeah, there's just get the hell out of school. My truth, the king, $2. Would taking a job at my local state university be worth it over same paying private sector job of mostly knuckle draggers? Academia peeps seem fake. I would go with the state university because I'm assuming you're going to get more pay and it's going to be less work. There may be more opportunity long-term in the private sector, but generally the private sector was more profitable and more opportunity. The public sector was not as much profit, but there was more stability. Right now, the population of both are fucking stupid. Right? I don't care if it's private sector. I mean, look what happened to the dot-com bubble. Look what happened to the housing bubble. Look what happened to the second tech bubble. I don't think there's any sector or field where, like NASA, and even then, Lord knows, oh, a bunch of DEI hires. Oh my God, come on in. Hey, gang. Did you qualify with a degree in physics? You didn't? Well, come on in anyway with your English history degree. You have the right plumbing. Come on in. I would lean towards the state university if the pay was equal. You're probably going to get better benefits. And then I'd imagine if you're working at the state university, you can get some free education. That would be a benefit you probably want to avail yourself of. So go whatever free college tuition they pay you for, whatever, master's in accounting, something like that. I'd avail myself of that. Yeah, academia peeps are fake. It's a college as an employer, universities and colleges is just where adult children go to work to avoid working in the real world. So if you can do that, and I don't know what, maybe work 2 hours a day in actuality, get some higher paying job or get some higher form of education. Sure. Robert Archer, $10. I have seen entire herds walk out onto seemingly frozen ponds at -20 while the pool drank through a hole at the edge. Have a good one, Mr. Cappy. Herds of cattle walking onto seemingly frozen at -20 while the pool drank through a hole at the edge. So the herds are that dumb, they'll just follow. You lost me on that one, Robert. You don't have to. Oh, here. I meant to say bull drinking by the edge. Right. Humans are herds. Animals are herds. Humans will do whatever the pop. Have you seen? Do you remember the Poofy Bang? Do you guys remember Poofy Bangs? Do you remember? I don't know. What's a popular fad? The cold shoulder. Do you guys remember the cold shoulder? What's the cold shoulder? Look it up. Cold shoulder. Look up the cold shoulder. That was funny what I just did there, but you need the context. My Truth, the king, $2. Ernst & Young or PricewaterhouseCoopers, Deloitte and KPMG is looking fire about now. I mean, to go work for? None of the above. As Chad and I have said many times before, I mean, you want to talk about normie, conforming, and fears, go for the big four. This is that you just go there to get your experience. Like a year or two experience, you get the fuck out. Go there, get the requirement to sit for the CPA, and get the fuck out. And it's increasingly looking like they're just, it's a weird phenomenon where they're bringing interns on now and paying you full-time wages, but they're crushing their interns, forcing you guys to do work. And if you can't keep up, they fire you. And then they're also outsourcing to the Philippines and India. So maybe even entering like for an entry-level job, maybe you don't even want to go work at those places. Go work at a second tier like Grant Thornton, Wipfli, is that one? Any kind of public accounting. But you don't have to work for the big four, and I wouldn't, because they're usually downtown where all the high rent is, and they're not going to pay you a lot. In other words, you could get your year's experience in accounting without having to work for the big four. Spambot Fodder, 5 Canadian. Thank you for writing Curse of the High IQ. I thought nobody understood how I saw the world until I read that. You don't understand the world until you see it. Again, you think you're wrong. You keep trying different things, and you got to realize it's not an empirical value system. It's not a moral value system society has. It is an economies to scale. We must obey conformance over performance system. That's what it is. That's how you are judged by society, because you need to obey beyond a rational, reasonable amount where the benefits of team players, good team membership comes in. Right? It's good to be a good team player, like especially if you work with a group of people. You have to. But when it infuses into everything, well, you must have this, you must have that. Oh my God, the Johnsons, they don't have a German car. Ooh, they're not allowed in Castle Rock. Castle Rock is, go read my latest book, Zero World Problems. It's just Edina. It's all it is, but it's in Colorado. Squishy Plums, new guy, $5. Cappy, you are the very smarts. I don't even have to say thank you. Not that I don't appreciate the compliment, but it is true. Had my IQ test. I'm in like the upper 130 somewhere. 2+ standard deviations. Very smart. It's nothing to be excited about. And it sure the fuck ain't anything to be ashamed of. Faithful Sock, $5. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. Yes, because then they have ego investment. A Faithful Sock, $2. Damn, you made me realize that I might be a dumbass. Well, it is worth it. Go take an IQ test, even the one on Queendom, right? Which isn't terrible. It's accurate. It's one of the more accurate ones. You just have to adjust it a little bit. Get a ballpark figure. And here's the other thing. If you're too lazy to take the test, don't take the test, because you have a lot of smart people who are lazy. And they go take the test, but they're lazy and don't try their best. And they score like an 88 and they think they're actually mentally impaired. And now you've misdiagnosed it. It's like, no, you're just lazy. There's a lot of smart people who score really low on IQ tests, and they're called lazy people. Albino, 10 generous dollars. Your smart people are either truckers or in the STEM fields. Truckers can't stand idiots. I'm a retired SATCOM guy in the Army, now a trucker. I can't stand you idiots. Good day, Aaron. You'd be amazed how many smart people are just like, plumbers. But they're usually the ones that show up on time and their math is right. Or, just military grunts. They just like, I'm in the military. You don't need a PhD in, nuclear physics to be smart. Iron Horse Reviews, $5. My IQ is higher than the average doctor. Been sick recently, and this has been an issue. Most of them all think the same and don't use common sense. Yeah, I'm really getting skeptical of the medical profession, where it hasn't happened to me enough, but it happened to me twice where I paid, a doctor. It's like at least a $500 bill. One was $600. And they told me shit. I'm like, really? I could just look that up on the internet. I'll go get my blood drawn and have LabCorp analyze it and tell me I don't need you. Rob Archer, $2. The goofy bangs and Cavaricci pants were ridiculous. They were. I don't even begrudge the poofy bangs, right? And if Cavaricci was popular back then, sure, it was popular back then. What pisses me off is that you were an inferior person, according to the herd, if you didn't have the poofy bangs or you weren't wearing the Cavaricci pants, that you didn't know how many beers were in a case. I should look that guy up. I don't know if I even have a yearbook anymore. Cyberbully, $5. Curse the high IQ and the menu made me feel better about my situation in life. You only got one, buddy. Go have fun. Especially where you live, Cyberbully. I'd go drive around the hilly mountainous valley area to your east. That's a beautiful part of the country. I would ride down the big river in that area. I'd pick up you're in a great motorcycle riding area. I go hiking every day in that area. Here's the best thing everyone can do, but especially high IQ people. Read Schopenhauer, author Schopenhauer, but in general, just abandon society to the maximum extent possible. Get your food, get your groceries, go to work. If you find a hobby and a group of people you really enjoy, like, I don't know, I love poker. I know, buddy, he's in the Masons. He loves it. Find that group of people, but otherwise, stay the fuck. You don't need these people. You don't need these popular. Like, wait, wasn't today the stupid award, the Oscars? Isn't the Oscars tonight? That was tonight, right? You don't have to watch the Oscars. No one's watching it. You don't have to watch the draft. Here's an idea for all the sports ball fans out there. How about you go pick up a hobby or get some exercise instead of watch March Madness? Have you thought about that? Just stop for a second. You don't have to watch the games. It's going to be two groups of people taking a ball from one end of the court to the other end of the court, to one end of the court to the other end of the court. That would be it. Like 32 games or wait, am I an idiot? Am I stupid for not knowing how many games are in the back bracket, bro? Oh my God, he's so stupid. Look at the square over here. Said the fat 55-year-old man who can't see his unit because his gut's hanging over. His wife is banging the pool boy while he's got debt. Said you over there, right? Because I didn't know how many people are playing in the March Madness bracket. I don't do the thing. John, oh Jesus. John Saracen Genius. Saracen Genius. $5. I always get bored halfway through and put anything. I'm happy with my 124. Let's go halfway through and put anything. Help me out. Use words, man. Spambot fodder, 5 Canadian. Chris, the high IQ is why I now show zero patience for the intellectually inferior. Yes. Yes. This is not an excuse for you to be mean to people or to treat people poorly. All right. But you had to suffer these fuckers in school, college, probably some parties. Hell, some of you had to suffer them in your marriages, and you still have to suffer it at work. Your feet, you don't have to tolerate them ever again. You don't have to tolerate them at all. This is why, here, you want to go get it. Go read, it's not linked below. Zero World Problems. You want to know what you smart people can do, assuming you can afford it. It's a luxury, but a lot of people can afford it. Unless I cannot find it anywhere else online, I do all my shopping on Amazon. Right? If I need an oil filter, okay, fine. I'll go down to the auto parts store. I do not go to Walmart anymore. And I like Walmart. It's just I don't have the time to deal with the people. I have zero patience for Grandma Tilly to just stop in the middle of the aisle. I don't have patience to go get the Walmart associates. Say, can you open up the deodorant thing because all the normie conforming inferiors steal it? Because we learned not to spank our children because it was the popular thing to do. No offense to Phil Foster or Stefan Molyneux. They are better research on the topic than me. I'm just saying, I'd imagine if we spanked more, I could just buy deodorant without it being behind a cage. Yeah, you guys don't have to, you don't have to go, like, I found a bar in Vegas. It's got like food and everything. It's quiet. No one knows about it's quiet. There's there's one television. It's on the other side of the bar. You sit in that bar, you don't have to. Jim Johnson, what do you think, Frank Frankerson? Oh, well, Tim Tillington. I think, let's talk to 23-year-old big boobed blonde girl who knows nothing of the sport to ask big jock guy what he was. I was thinking about scoring more points. I don't have to see that. Albino, $5. Humor and irony are indications of a yes. Go look at your classic comedians. Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby, whatever you think of him. Norm Macdonald, Bill Burr, especially. Geniuses. Freaking geniuses. Where does that put Boomer Kens and Karens? Oh, dude, they're just no. If you have a master's degree and it ain't in like science, you're an idiot. You're an MBA. Kiss my fucking ring. Gary Hominick, new guy, $5. Social engineering. If only our nation followed the Greek critical thinking style education system instead of the Prussian NPC education system. Thoughts? Was it the Prussian education system designed due to the Industrial Revolution? You took the Socratic method you were talking about with Greek critical thinking. Yes, sure. I'm in the last third of my life. I don't care what the people do. I couldn't care less. Matter of fact, as long as your parents keep fucking up your children and the teachers keep screwing up their kids, I'm going to have work at Asshole Consulting until I'm dead. John Sarah San Genius, $2. 124. Oh, the IQ test brohams. See, why are you using words I don't know? What's Sandscan, 20 generous dollars. High IQ people supposedly have depression. I've tested online at 130 consistently online. I only have shitty situation depression. I don't understand always depressed. It doesn't seem like you do either. I don't understand always. I only have shitty situation depression. Right. Yeah. Especially when I studied economics and had to do banking and all that, my work was continual stress, shitty situation. Because why can't we make the loan? You're a bad person. We're going to fire you if you don't make the loan. But yeah, once that went away and I started hiking and, not working in banking, like when I'm watching anime or playing a good video game, I'm not depressed. When I'm out hiking, I'm definitely not depressed. I think I don't think it has something to do with the universal depression and malaise. I don't think that has anything to do with IQ. I think that's just the environment. And since we've taken away pretty women, yes, I do mean that. Since we've taken away pretty women and masculine men, and we don't have families, and we only, teach socialism and popularity and socialism with iPhones, latest iPhone, socialist capitalism, and everyone's out to get you, and you're a victim. Yeah, I could see where people would be depressed. Plop plop 200 yen. De-inshitification funds plus shout out to Curse of the High IQ. Plop plop. Is there a de-inshitification fund? Is there? You mentioned it before. Clem joke $5. Growing up was like a 3-dimensional being trying to live in a 2-dimensional world. Yep. And Sean Tex $5. The best example of innate solipsism is the grandmas who are unaware of their surroundings in the grocery store aisle. Correct. Or in the parking lot. I went driving around today, enjoying a beautiful day, and just all the tourists and, someone from California just stops in the road. Why? Because you're a dumbass from California. California, stupid people pooping in the streets, stupid people pooping in the streets. And it's almost fascinating to watch. It was a fast moving road. It's like 55 miles an hour. This person just stops. Okay. And they took off again, so it wasn't car trouble. They were quickly passed. All right, Curse of the High IQ, link below. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.